Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. So, a couple of people pointed out in the comments of the last episode that there is, in fact, quite a lot of Jadonics on the marketplace, and I could be boosting the Pulsos bonuses and reproduction rate with it by selling titanium and hyperium. That is a very good point. I was not looking for Jadonics in my head when I'm looking at the marketplace. I'm looking for specific things. I just blind spotted myself real badly on this. So thank you everyone for pointing that out, and I do think that's something we'll do. The way we've got things set up right now, jump over to here. Yeah, the way we've got things set up right now, we actually can't boost the rate of Pulsos reproduction because most of the systems, Cheng is full, and then Rasam only has Pulsos. So the rate of Pulsos reproduction is 100%. They are definitely going to be the ones. Centaurus has... I guess we might be able to make this a Pulsos population. But my point was, in any case, even though we're probably not going to change the rate of Pulsos reproduction because of the way I've set up my empire, it's probably still worth doing to just double their bonuses because they give a lot of science. So let's go do that. Let's go get a whole bunch of Jadonics. Now, we don't have a source of Jadonics, but there's a lot of it available on the market. So it also might be feasible for us to use this in our next system development. Go Jadonics Red Sang instead of... Well, I was thinking Red Sang Transvine, right? Because somebody has access to a lot of it and is selling it. Now, that could put us over a barrel eventually if they decide they don't want to sell it to the marketplace anymore and we have to go to them begging. But, also maybe we could invite some of their planets into our great empire here. So anyway, let's do some selling. What are we at here? We got prices of 34 and 34. We're not going through this stuff particularly quickly, so I don't see any reason not to just go for this. So we're going to be able to trade them one strategic for one Jadonics, basically. And I assume that when used in one of these things, it'll be 75. Yeah, that's unfortunate that it's we're going to be using it in our level 3, but I think it's right. So this will make our new systems that really, really kick-started. I wish I had put Jadonics in the level 2, but too late to fix it now. Is there any Red Sang at all on the market, or are we going to have to actually get all of that? Yeah, there's a little bit. We're probably going to be bottlenecked on our Red Sang production. We are picking up more systems that have it. We're getting Andromeda. We're going to get Batan because it has antimatter. We're going to get Kurana because it has unique planets. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, let's get some Jadonics. We only need about 7, I think, for the boost. Let's sell 50 of those and 50 of these. Now, I don't know if the way, buying stuff in bulk, I don't know if this is going to buy us one at 28 and then the next one at whatever the appropriate price is after we bought one, or if putting down an order for a bunch just buys all of them at current price. I don't suppose it really matters. We're pretty much just going to... I'm going to feel around here until we find the amount that we can purchase, and we're just going to buy all of them. All that we can afford. Because if we are going to use it for a booster, this actually is just barely enough for one booster plus one population boost. One system development, I mean. Plus one population boost. But I guess this can be what a lot of our dust goes toward for now. We doubled the price of it. Alright, I do think it's the right thing to do. It's a lot of extra science. So we are now +2 industry, +10 science on anomaly, and almost every Pulsos of the Empire is on a planet with an anomaly. Yeah, this guy is the only guy that isn't. And unfortunately, we are in fact not going to get a Pulsos here. That's a shame. Well, we can acquire more Jadonics, like I said. Also, our trade routes with Lunaris might make these trading companies pretty valuable right away, which would be nice. We might be able to get a lot more money coming in quickly. So we're about to get the ability to colonize barren planets. I suppose we should check out the stuff that's on the barren planet first here. Okay, antimatter. Pretty happy to see that. I have to believe our people would not want to deal with a threat of discontent by imprisoning everybody and being horrible monsters. Boy, oh boy, do I not want my government being filled with hawks. It's gonna ruin everything. And that happened right before an election, too. Crap. Well, alright, let's go talk to the Riftborn. I would love it if the thing that's going on with us did not turn into a war. Let's try to apply a little bit of diplomatic pressure here. I insist that you stop your attacks.
For your deeds, a special place in the void awaits you.
So they're increasing their pressure on us, which doesn't have a tremendous effect. So we can prepare for hostilities, which will give us a better dodge chance while fighting them. Or we can ready our defenses, just increase the amount of manpower we can devote to defense on systems near him. Neither one of these are very good. I guess prepare. I'm afraid that mobilize. I don't actually know that these icons increase the power of that political party. But neither one of these things is very valuable for us, and I'm worried that mobilize would make the militarists even more powerful.
Do you enjoy disturbing us?
Is there any chance we can just buy our way into peace? I know they don't like the things I've been doing, but maybe if we bribe the heck out of them. Okay, that made some distance. Let's we certainly have some influence we can play with here. That did not make much of a difference. What if we give them some higher level strategics? We're not making progress very quickly here, are we? I would love to get proper peace out of this. Want some proto-orchid? I don't even really have any use for a lot of this stuff. We have found small caches of a lot of... I'll share my maps with you. That didn't help. But we can have a trade agreement. You know you love trade. No, I don't think we're gonna be able to get there on this. Alright, we could give them a gift. I should not provoke them any further. I'm just gonna give them some potatoes. I don't even want these. You know, let's give them all of our potatoes. Hey, I said 30. There we go. Here.
We have nothing to say to this.
Okay. We'll take their stuff, but we'll take it peacefully by convincing the citizens of the system that they'd be better under our rule. Really, really, really don't want to get into a big war and have the militarist party a permanent presence in our government. We have other things that we need to be doing. You know, another one of those other things might be making a proper alliance with the Lumeris. If we're thinking about going for a dust victory, the Lumeris will make great partners in that because they produce so much dust. It might actually be slightly slower than going it alone, but also having another person bound to our success might make the other empires less likely to mess with us. Go ahead and take approval here. Okay, well, without even reading the text here, I am not increasing militarist political ideology. I want approval. We can definitely afford to take a hit on influence. That seems fine. Okay, so we're making some okay money. probably specialize these planets a little bit. Now that we have industrial zones, we should swap the hot worlds to industrial zones. I guess this can also be that. The Harrison are currently boosted right now. Chance to increment plus 200. Chance to increment plus 500. Well, that's a shame. They're boosted. I just, there's only so much you can do. Alright, give me some sustainable farms. Let's get that population up. Let's pack all of these planets to the brim. So, if we're thinking about an alliance, we need to get to perfect negotiations. Oh, yeah, that's right. The cooperation protocol has extra benefits for the Unfallen. They really want you to make friends. Let's pick up hyperpacks now. We'll try to ally up, and then try to get to cooperation protocol shortly afterward. And the Lumeris like us enough that I think this is going to work. So 3 turns on that. We do need to pick up more colonization tech as well. Let's start feeling out this other colonizable world. I think we got to get out here quickly before anybody else does. Oh, hey. We discovered a ship. .260 offense, 88 defense. Okay, it's not anything special, but doesn't seem like a terrible ship. Now, we're high enough on approval with these guys to take their quest, but as Lumeris, or as Unfallen rather, you can't offer assistance to a minor civilization until you have vined up their system. So we're going to work on it. This Vine fleet is going to go to Baten next, and then across. We'll grab Menace before Karana if we can. I'm not sure if the Vine network will reach that far. Alright, how are we polling? Okay, the militarists are looking pretty behind. I would love it if they didn't get a seat at all. If we could be like pacifist, scientist, industrialist, that would be good. Ecologist is really nice, but I guess the ecologists aren't behind that much in the polls. We might be able to make that happen. We might want to reform our government type too. We haven't done that in the previous games, but it's sometimes worth doing. Alright, looks like the Lumeris are building up a fleet here. Maybe I'll go down to Bushir and try to... I'll let the Lumeris take care of this. I'll go to Bushir and try to prevent any pirate ships from sneaking out of there and messing with my stuff. Let's redirect these dudes. Okay, so what you see here is a singularity. You can see the effects of it down there in the lower left. This is a thing that the Riftborn do. They can manipulate time and space in ways that seem a little impossible to us, but apparently child's play for them. This is one of the reasons I don't want to go to war with them. Increase scientist political ideology or religious political ideology. I don't think we're in any danger of the scientists not making the current government. Oops. We could afford an approval hit without actually changing our government-wide or our empire-wide bonuses much. Cersini probably would not like to go down by, what is it, 10 or 15? Yeah. Minus 15 industry on colonies is not great. But I'm trying to push hard for ecstatic, and let's go this way. We will change our outdated classification system, and we will produce additional food. Alright, we almost have our trading company partway complete. We still have to make the subsidiary after the headquarters finishes over there. But what else have we here? We've discovered population. Remnants. Okay, I like remnants. Those guys are good. Alright, Alright, so Rassam finished its farm. We could go for intensive cultivation here. Food output is definitely going to get better once we... I mean, our food output is increasing here too, plus 2 food per citizen. But yeah, like I'm thinking we may not need to like super overload this. Definitely want to keep people on this world because this world has all the industry. But we're going to grow into having enough food. Probably production is the thing worth focusing on. Actually, infinite supermarkets will push us up to ecstatic here, which will result in additional food, which will help our growth. We actually might want to fiddle with our government a little bit too. Alright, 5 turns until this is entwined. We gotta be pretty close on Andromeda. Oh, right, we unlocked a new law slot when we increased our rank in that quadrant of the tree. Well, we could start running this. We're gonna have to actually get some more influence, though. You know, we're not getting much value out of the Spoils of War Act. Let's abolish that. Put in Make Love Not War. We'll be slightly negative for a little while. But this is... We already have peace with one player. We're about to push for an alliance with them. Maybe peace with another player. Can run a little bit of approval out of there. And then... Brains over bucks. Here, we're not making enough money for me to feel comfortable taking these... Yeah, I think we may just leave the other slot open. Because unfortunately we are already losing influence. Yeah, but that's got us too devoted right there. Ecstatic, ecstatic. So actually we don't need the infinite supermarkets here. Let's swap that out. Predictive logistics would be pretty good. We have 2 planets. We could have 3 or 4 pretty quickly. Hold on, let's jump in here. So we don't have cerebral reality. We should grab that. And then public-private partnerships. Yeah, we have 2 worlds, and one of them is fertile. And then maybe we grab another world or 2, and then predictive logistics, because that'll be quite effective then. Yeah, we'll see. I want to get these done, though. Our science output as an empire is low enough that a boost of 30 here or there is like actually very significant still. And also, I guess there's no reason not to have... The pincer can just serve as an escort, you know? Okay, so we want to put our official support behind the industrialists to try to push the militarists out, maybe? I'm a little worried that throwing our official support behind the ecologists won't push them up above. Pacifist, scientist, ecologist, I think is our ideal government. But I'm a little worried I do this, it doesn't push us above 11, and then the militarists win the tiebreak on the vote because they're already in the government. I really just I would like it if they were not part of it. I really want to get my other good parties established. Let's try it. Let's see if our official support will have enough of an influence here. Okay, there's a good number of tree votes there. Okay, the ecologist or the militarist party polled way higher than they actually turned out to get voted. So this is not bad. Again, I would have preferred ecologist in place of industrialist, but on the whole, not bad. Okay, so the Jingoist Joy Bill is out. And we're back to this as our mandatory law. Allows us to force peace. So we do have that option now. And it has the additional benefit of giving us additional approval. We also picked up the Star Boogie Bill, which I do like. I don't think we're going to use, but I do like. Plus 25 approval for 5 turns when acquiring a new colony, either by invasion or through completion of an outpost. We don't actually do either of those things, but I think this will probably still fire for us. And it is just plus 20 food on all of your systems all of the time, in addition to this other effect. That would drop our... Man, we'd be at almost negative... We'd be at like negative 65, negative 63. Which means we wouldn't be able to hold our government together for very long. You know what, let's just leave the slot empty. I think we're doing the right thing over here. So what is the cost of forcing peace?
We can shatter time on a whim. You anger us at your peril.
You know, I think they're coming around a little bit, though. Maybe we can do this the old-fashioned way, because they will not love forced peace, but it will have, you know, it'll have the additional costs for them to transfer back out of peace. It's harder to declare war. You need to pay more influence when you're in peace and stuff. We don't have an infinite amount of influence to play with. Why don't we wait? Let's wait until Hyperpax is finished, figure out how much influence it's going to cost us to get our alliance, and then we'll see about forcing peace with them. And we have Entwined Andromeda. Great. So we've got a huge colonizable arid world over here with an adamantian deposit and some red sang. Yeah, I think that's the one. You know, we don't really have great scale here. Like, we see the grass is not nearly as tall as these are. I don't actually have any idea how big these bugs are. They kind of look like they're the size of a dog. Which is gross, but maybe it's not so bad. Alright. So here we have a hot world that is neither fertile nor sterile, and then a hot world that is sterile. We might want to fiddle with our population a little bit, send some people over to Andromeda. Hold on, let's figure out the rest of our turn. So Nashast are friendly and are now sending us even more resources. Ah. We've analyzed this fake planet and discovered a random technology, of course. Is it not going to tell me what that was? Okay, well. Conflict has broken out between two of our trusted advisors. Ah, man, okay. 20% of food is converted into dust and greatly increases industrialist political ideology, or... Okay, so... This one, we don't really need the dust, we do need the food, and I would like to increase industrialist political ideology as little as possible. Because I really would like our government to have the Ecologist Party in it. However, that said... here we go. We are boosting an industrialist population. We could really lean on the Epistis to try to balance that out. And for Epistis populations, industrialist events actually add ecologists as well. We might have a hard time keeping our government these three parties, though, given how much lean we have into industrialism. It looks like it's going to be trivial for us to keep the pacifists in play. But some of the ecologist laws are really nice. Alright, we gotta try to promote the Epistis population whenever possible. They like to be on sterile worlds, so maybe the smart thing to do here is to move some Epistis to Andromeda. Where are they right now? Okay, they're both here. So we don't have the resources necessary to do this. We could fix that, though. We're at 15. We got 4 income per turn. That's not bad. I guess we're waiting. Never mind. I was going to say we could just buy some. We're still really, really short red sang for our next boost, which means I don't even want to declare what resources it'll be made of. There's no sense in doing that before we actually have the ability to use it, right? So I guess I'm not in a huge hurry. It is only going to take 3 turns to get the other world here. Yeah, I want a point of population on this planet because I want to be pulling these resources in. We'll get Andromeda 3, then we'll send the Epistis over here. They'll help grow the system. Yeah, I think this is a reasonable way to go. And in 4 turns, we're going to have another point of Epistis population. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. I think that'll work out. Alright, what else? Competitive quest started. In 20 turns, own the system producing the most industry in the galaxy. Something tells me this is not going to be us.
The Oregon Federacy seeks only knowledge, and a true place to call home.
Ah. A lost Horatio scout ship, so they had that quest this game. Well, if you guys want to help me explore my new home, you know, I'm certainly not going to turn away the help. Okay, there's Hyperium and Titanium on this world. Normal deposit and weak deposit. That's a shame. Oh, nice. While exploring this planet, you come across a small, harmless community of Horatio. Apparently the survivors of a crash-landed spacecraft. These people have lived on the planet for over a decade, enjoying the tropical climate and adorning their habitations with rocks, shells, and other useless objects. They do actually look kinda cool, though. They seem quite surprised when you tell them their little conclave is just 1 or 2 years away from being wiped out by a natural cataclysm. Okay, so we gotta bring the Horatio vessel to one of our systems with at least 3 available population slots. Well, we certainly have some of those. I guess let's take them to Andromeda. I don't want to screw up Rassam's Pulsos-only population. I really do want to grow the Pulsos, even though they may make it impossible for us to keep the industrialists out of the government. You know, if we end up being industrialist over ecologist, that's not such a bad thing. Although I think pacifist and ecologist are my preferred parties, and if I'm going to lose something for industrialist, I would prefer it be scientist? I don't know. We'll see how things work out. One of the aspects of this game that I think is the coolest is the fact that you don't have super great direct control over your government and your people's political desires. I guess we can just search this now. Okay, plus 5 XP for our ships. So we only have 1 point of movement. I'm just going to fire this probe out here. Let's see if we can see what that system is. And then next turn we'll go on a little adventure. It looks like it's another minor faction. I did not choose white as a player color this time, so hopefully that is a real minor faction. This is coming along. We're getting there. I'm trusting the Lumeris to deal with Ova. Alright, next turn. You guys are good. You guys are good. Yep. So this turn we'll see if we can't forge some kind of long-term alliance with the Lumeris. Our dust per turn is starting to get pretty okay. So we've met the Tikkanen. They are soldiers. Plus 100 manpower capacity if we assimilate them. That's fine, I guess. Hold on. Yeah, we have 700 influence. I suppose... Well, I was going to say, I suppose we can dump a bunch, but that's right. We're saving influence for a reason.
You're the caviar of the galaxy.
Just gotta remember, from her point of view, that's a compliment.
How are you today?
I think we could be more than friends. Wait, that sounds weird. I'm not trying to have sex with you. You know, just like really good friends is what I meant. Do you have any stuff you might give me? In particular, Red Sang would be cool. We can trade for techs and stuff once we're allied, which might be beneficial to us because our science output is not the greatest. You know, I think I'll just take the flat alliance because we have other stuff we're trying to do with our influence. The Chorus of Aligned Sentience. So, we are now bound together. We can no longer win the game without the Lumeris. We are effectively sort of one player for the purpose of all of the victory conditions. This increases the amount of dust that we need for the economy victory, but it doesn't quite double it. It increases it to like 175% of what it was. So if the two of us put in roughly equal work, we each actually have to do slightly less than we would have had to get it alone. That said, the AI is better than it used to be, but it's still 4x AI, which is to say that I don't expect it to be able to really win the game on its own, but, you know, we'll, I'm okay doing a little bit of extra lifting.
Oh, this is better than good business. It's great business.
An alliance is good for business, and the Lumeris are in the business of business. True story. Okay, it's good to have friends. And honestly, being in an alliance is going to be helpful to us in a number of ways. Alright, so... we need to do something that's not... I guess I'm just going to interrupt whatever for the level 2 modernization just as soon as we can do it. We do need more food here. That said, it's probably not worth... yeah, it's probably not worth building the food wonder, because we're close to the population cap. I'm going to re-specialize our planets, though. Alright, we'll see how we feel then. The wonder is getting pretty close to completed. The Vultures are exploring a little deeper than I would like. So we don't have the influence to force peace on Omicron anymore.
On a whim. You anger us at your peril.
We need to get our influence generation up. Fortunately, we're in the right part of the tree for it. The Culture Center is not a bad way to go, but yeah, I would prefer national museums where we can get some influence going on each world. Now we might have to cut the Dirty Hands Act from the government. I think we're making good use of the 20 extra approval per system. But the Dirty Hands Act might have to go. How much are we paying for this? Well, you know, this is a Tier 1 law, and this is a Tier 2 law. So this will be a third of our current law upkeep. So we're paying 43. Yeah, cutting that would make us not negative anymore. We also are using it, though. Lowering the cost of system improvements is pretty important. Let's keep it rolling for a little while longer. Also, minus 10% system development luxury cost, or plus 2 resource generation on all of our strategic resource deposits. You know, we're not going to build that many system developments over the next 10 turns, 15 turns, I guess? Oh, no, sorry. 10 turns on that thing, 15 turns on the ideology change. I wonder, how valuable is this going to be? We are pretty close to doing an upgrade on Circini. But we're basically nowhere on Red Sang, right? Like, it's taken forever for us to generate the Red Sang. Yeah, even with a 10% reduction in the cost of the luxury deposit, we still wouldn't have enough Red Sang to do a level 3 modernization before that event ended. How much Transvine are we pulling in? Only 3 per turn. It's just that we had more to start with. I don't know, maybe we do Transvine and Jadonics instead? I do feel like I want the extra food boost on new systems, like right away. The approval boost will be more meaningful once the system is developed. We just really got to up our rate of Red Sang gathering. Unfortunately, we found a lot of deposits, but none of them are good. They're all really weak deposits. I don't think I've ever had this much trouble gathering a resource before. Like a resource that I actually had access to. Huh. Yeah, I think we go this way just to generate the extra money from selling our strategics then. I think we might have to make our peace with the government being industrialist forever. These guys probably are not going to harass us as we pass through anymore. We're very friendly now. So we can give these guys a little bit of praise. That's enough that it'll get them friendly. I think we're going to go ahead and drop the Dirty Hands Act now. Yep, we just have to get our influence generation up. I'm playing a lot of influence-based games lately. All that is going well. We have a science thing picked. Get some more Pulsos born. We actually are almost complete on this quest. As soon as that Horatio ship arrives, this'll complete. And we're getting close to having the first collection bonus for these guys. Unfortunately, not super useful. Second one, however, the second one will be very nice. If we got to 50, we would unlock a unique law based on this population. I actually don't think I've ever seen one of the minor faction laws. I have no idea what it could even be like. Oh, another thing we want to do. So this game, we actually want to pay a lot more attention to our trade routes. We can buy freighters. I usually go for dust and science income, but maybe we actually do want to increase our luxury and science income, given that we're having such a hard time generating our luxuries. What this will do is this will slightly increase the amount of luxury goods that are being produced by the trade route. Trade routes produce luxury goods from every planet that they cross between their headquarters and their subsidiary. So I guess this isn't really worth worrying about right this second. Let's get the subsidiary built first. Also, the length of the path between your headquarters and your subsidiary is important. How are we doing? We're at 6 of 7, and we're researching a tech that's going to give us +1 system occupied. I'm debating whether I want to take Artemis and then maybe use Dust to rush the trade company subsidiary here. What I'd really like is for it to run from Cersini through Naus. And I guess maybe I should run it on. Maybe I should build it on Andromeda instead, so that it's hitting 2 systems that have Red Sang. Actually, that's probably what I should do. Yeah. It would be 7.3k to rush this. And we're generating dust very quickly, though. How much does antimatter currently sell for? 100 each. Wow. Okay, we could do... The prices of the strategics are up as well. Okay, we could do this. We could do this. Let's sell, I don't know, another 50 of these, probably. We're not going to be able to rush it right this second, but we can get closer. Like, we're really not using this. We're actually pulling it in at a pretty good clip here. You know what? I'm going to sell all of it. We'll take advantage of that nice high price. So actually, we can. We can build it this turn. Alright, let's do that. Man, it's nice to have real income. Okay, is there anything else I want to do this turn? I am going to go ahead and buy some freighters. So each time you buy a freighter, future freighters get much more expensive. And we're already generating some trade with the Lumeris. I think things are going all right. We need to get our influence generation way up so that we can continue to do business with green, but we're on our way. I would rather Vine Korana if I could go straight to Korana, but it looks like I can't. You can see... when we have the vine ship selected, you can see the ghost vines here, indicating that this is in vine range, and this is not, unfortunately. Okay, so our trade company is currently generating a little bit of dust, a little bit of science. I believe it should generate luxuries passing over the luxury systems. I'm not 100% clear on how this works. A general increase in prices for luxuries. That's a shame. So I definitely want to take the system right above us before the Lumeris can. My concern is just that I want to expand into the center of the galaxy quickly. I don't want to overload myself. That's just a scout ship. Yeah, they haven't pushed out to Galter yet. I'm not going to worry about it too much. And the one planet that we can colonize in Artemis actually is not very good, so... It is a sterile world. It's a place where we could ship some of our minor faction population, but if we can't afford to build a system booster, then we can't ship the default Unfallen population out, so... Alright, next turn we'll be able to do this. Alright. Should probably specialize these worlds. But this one's only temperate, but still industry, I think. So after we've done that, then... Yeah, predictive logistics, I guess. I think that's the right way to go here. Rasam will be a production powerhouse. Eventually, once we get it all sorted out. Oh. Huh. I didn't realize that our main population type could be the next population unit in systems where they didn't exist. I thought doing this would make it so only Pulsos could be born here. Well, that's a shame. Didn't we do a map trade? What are they sending all these scouts in for? Maybe they're probably just trying to get out to the center. Okay, the life form we discovered was a transvine deposit. That's fine. Man, a lot of weak deposits. We're not even seeing a lot of, like, 3 per turn luxury deposits. That's a shame. We could really use those luxuries, man. We also probably need to get some fleet tech so that we can put more Vine ships into our Vine fleets. Well, we'll have time to build Vine ships in a second here. Okay. Well, we're positive on stuff. We can go ahead and get a little bit of resource value going from them as well. Then we should probably get out of here. It looks like another minor. So all the minor factions are sort of just in the middle, I guess. We did it. Alright, that's a pretty good structure. That's going to help with our science issues a little bit. Now... we do have a lunar anomaly here. We should probably build this. We should probably re-specialize. Yeah, because this is where we're going to make our ships and stuff. Drop this to the end. I'll leave this world on science, I think. I don't want to ship Pulsos over here, I don't think. Yeah, we'll just let Andromeda become a place where there's a lot of Epistis, I think. Lobbyists for your Empire's banks have been assailing your senators for weeks with demands to ease some of the regulations on their operations. Yeah, that always turns out well. We can afford to take a dust hit. I do like approval. We don't really need to increase pacifist political ideology. I think we're under control there. Also, it does feel good to tell the to tell the bankers to get lost. Okay, so we've got Rotanev. Do I actually want to... How much antimatter would this put out? 3 per turn. And it's a huge world. Yeah. A lot of population space. Actually, not that much. You know, it's barren, so... that doesn't help. We can terraform it to an Arctic world, which will like a lot more. It'll produce a lot less science, but it'll have... I was gonna say, this seems like a good idea, but in fact, we only have 10 industry here, and this will take 112 turns. So we will do that. Eventually. For now, let's probably rush stuff with dust, mostly. You know, this will be pretty good. Oh, it's 5 antimatter per turn. That's... why is it resource... oh, right, because we have the event running. Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot about that event. So it's a sterile world, obviously. Maybe this is where we want to send our Epistis? Or we could send at least one over here. Well, Cercini doesn't have a space station just yet, or a spaceport just yet. Right here on Naus, got our remnants. Gonna produce some more Hiroshims. That's probably a good idea. What do we want next? Predictive logistics would be pretty handy. Well, we should grab cerebral reality. That's just free, easy resources. Yeah, I think we're going to predictive logistics. The system is a little underdeveloped. We'll fix it. We'll get there. So now that we've entwined Rotanev, what do I want to do with these Vine ships? We can't take any of the pirate systems until the pirates are actually run off of them. We could buff up our infantry troops and try to claim this one. Oh, I just spent a bunch of money. Alright, well, next turn, we'll make those upgrades, and we'll try to hit Bushir. This is all the soldiers we have available, so hopefully it'll be good enough. Alright, I think everything else is humming along. Centaurus now needs... I don't even know what. I don't even know what to do with you. Yeah, I mean, I guess work on this. It's only 10 industry, but also everything else that I can build here is going to be bad, too. This is just never going to be a very useful world. But it was more population space at a time when we needed more population space. Wait, isn't this the Horatio vessel? What? We're being blockaded. Oh, green.
Know that we will do everything.
Okay. They declared war on us, and... boy, it's just non-stop stuff here. Well, I don't know that these changes will actually take effect, since the Grand Invasion was already launched, but we are doing that this turn anyway, we may as well. Oh! That's the Vaulter settling ship. That's not okay. Where even are the Vaulters? Why does everybody want to come and settle in my constellation?
You're one of our favorite fish in this galactic sea.
God, I hope so. Alright. Let's see if we can hold out. I do not think we will. Alright, we were able to hold him off for a while. Well, this is, you know, this is my fault. I got aggressive with them first. Oh, that's very helpful. Very, very helpful. A lot of influence in a it's a lot of influence per citizen in a place where there are a lot of citizens. So I guess the Lost Horatio vessel dropped off a bunch of the Horatio here? That's not ideal. +3 food, +2 approval on hot. Yeah, it would be better if these guys were, like, on Andromeda. Let's ship them over there. That is, in fact, where I want them to be. I was sending the ship to Andromeda for a reason. So we see ships that have 338 offense power, 115 defense power. They're not super good, but they are a real problem. So the attack ships are using titanium. We've been spending a lot of titanium on other things, but we mine it at a good enough rate. I think it should be okay for us to take this. And we were working toward the next tier of this part of the tree anyway, but man, I'm not happy about potentially going back to war. Please don't cancel my loss. Sometimes it just does that. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. It's just like, we're done with this one. And you have to go fix it. So now we have a lot more dust incoming. We could do... Yeah, we could do this. The long-term knowledge program could be helpful. Actually, plus movement points on our ships, I think, is what we need right now. Because we're going to have to pull back our meager fleet. Like, we can't even actually fight them, though. Because they're able to jam 50% more ships into a fleet than we are. Which means 50% more ships into a fight than we are. Oh, boy. I sure hope the Lumares can save us. So, like, we could probably win this now, but I guess we have to pull these ships... Like, I don't think we can afford to do this. We need to run back home. The Star Boogie Bill is definitely helping. Some pretty good move speeds now. And Cheng needs to hurry up and finish the predictive logistics so that we have... the industry necessary to build some ships quickly here. Swap that to industrial zones, I guess. This is not good. If they take this system, I'm going to be in a bad place. But unfortunately, there's no way to... no way we're going to be able to talk them out of this truce with the amount of influence we have. Yeah, I can't make good terms. But we're generating enough influence now that hopefully it won't be too many turns before we can. We just have to not lose Cersini in the meantime, or take it back after we do lose it. Well, we're moving our faction quest forward. We gained access to the Center of Light and Life, and once we're done sort of focusing on growing some of our population types, like if we can get Pulsos to 20%, or 20, so that it's good to spread them out throughout the Empire, these will become really valuable. Okay, what's up?
Press us too far, and do not mistake silence for fear.
You know, it's possible that we could be friends, but you have to not be on Auriga. That's a problem for me. Well, we might be able to go straight to... Like I said, if we can go straight to Menace with our vines, that'll work for me. We can figure out Auriga later. It doesn't have to be ours. Alright. Keep fighting the good fight. Okay, our troops being improved is really helping. They have a lot of ships, though. Technology, civilizations, history. We are unused to seeing and learning so much, to absorbing this quantity of information, or data, as some now call it. Events, discoveries, and artifacts fall upon us like torrential rain. It is all we can do to not be swept away. The heart beats more strongly now, as though driven by our concern. New knowledge is absorbed as quickly as it can be, and when it is too great or too complex, it drains like water into our subconscious, and is captured there by the heart, biding its time to resurface and be integrated and understood at a pace more natural to the rhythms of the unfallen. Maintaining our reason and equilibrium becomes more and more difficult, but the unfallen are nothing if not hardy and resolute. Still, the new knowledge brings a challenge we had not considered, one that digs at the corners of our society. Do we grow, change, and evolve, or do we fall back upon the ways we know and ride out the turmoil? Is the chaos of the galaxy simply a new analogy for fire? And if so, is it the fire that renews, or the fire that destroys? It would be good if we could discover these answers before this fire becomes too powerful for our control. It does not escape us that the analogies we use are flood and fire, agents of cataclysm. Well, curiosity burns, but it is a renewing fire is certainly easy enough to succeed at. We're obviously going to be pushing our science research rate up, no matter what. Tradition, maintain approval at 70 or better in your empire for 16 turns. So this is something we also are pretty good at. 2,000 dust is only a little bit more than 3 turns. Actually, it's not even more than 3 turns worth of dust anymore. But this might give us extra ecology, political ideology, and I would like that, so I think this is the one we're going to take. Knowledge must be the fire that renews, and the answers must be found within our people. If we flourish and remain strong, we will have the time and strength even for the most difficult of the new knowledge. Alright, we should, I think... We can maybe kill Make Love Not War for a minute. I'm just thinking, like, it would be really good if we generated some influence real quick here. Our people are very happy. We need to be able to wring peace out of these guys. Okay. Losing Cersini would suck. In fact, losing Cersini would suck a lot because it's the only thing keeping the network running to now send out to here. I'm not 100% sure what would happen if we lost it. That said, we do seem to be winning the fight now that our troops are upgraded, but still nervous. Wasn't Cersini's next birth supposed to be a, Oh, right, because of the invasion. Population's not growing because of all the invasion. Well, why don't we call the Vine ships back to here? It is clear to me that we are not going to be able to grab Bushir anytime soon. Let's call the Vine ships back to here and start vining this up. Hopefully, even if they do want to devote a bunch of extra troops to Cersini, hopefully we can get this put together fast enough that it can support the Vine network. It still doesn't make any sense at all to me that Riftborn, from someplace in the galaxy, who knows where, suddenly appeared over here without seeming to have crossed the intervening space, and just started laying down colonies. Start producing ships. We're going to lose control of our Senate. Alright, what do I want to do with this Lost Horatio ship? It's a good scout ship. I suppose we just send it out into the middle. Okay, so let's fan out some probes like this. Let's see if there's anything closer to us that we've not yet discovered. This is bad, though. This is going to be tricky to deal with.
We can shatter time on a whim. You anger us at your peril.
If their invasion fails, it'll push the war pressure in a direction that might have them coming around on this peace thing a little bit. We will have this dodge chance when our ships finally show up. 1.8k to rush stuff. Yeah, you know what? We should probably sell some resources and rush those ships out. In fact, we should redesign them first. Okay, here's what we're going to do. we're going to call it here for today. Thank you all so much for watching. In between now and next time, tomorrow's episode, I'm going to formulate a plan here. We're going to figure this out. So come back next time to see us weasel our way out of this war before hopefully being able to force peace on these guys and then hold them at arm's length until we can steal all their stuff. And we'll see you then.